what's up YouTube, fish tube and fish fan? This is Robert from Freeze Aquariums. Today we're going to talk a little bit about the Series 7, the Fluval Series 7 407 canister. This will apply to their other two models as well. I was having an issue. I had done a filter cleaning, canister cleaning, and I went to go back and prime it. And the primer, as you can see, it was kind of stiff. It wasn't fluid like it normally was. You can hear that squeaking noise. I'll show you what that is in a minute. So I went looking, and there's really not a lot of information about this. I've seen in a couple different social medias, as well as on YouTube, when people were asking Fluval about this issue. And not really seeing any response. And then next thing I know, it happens to me. So I have it off my unit, my canister itself. But as I said, I was trying to prime it, and then all of a sudden it got real stiff. So not really taking this apart other than removing to clean out the impeller. This is where your primer comes in. I kind of saw one video of Fluval talking about maintenance, but again, it did not address this issue, which is why I'm doing this video. I snapped this out, and this is just a little rubber paddle that goes over here, which is how your suction works. So what had happened, as you can see it right there, the O-ring was half around the plunger, was wedged between there, thus causing the friction. So I did see some people talking about this O-ring splitting in that chamber, kind of causing the same issue I had. So I reached out to Fluval, and you know, one thing I will say, if you get anything fish related and it comes with a warranty and it asks you to register, and I'm going to tell you why in a second. With the 407, not only when it first came out, they gave you a warranty, but if you registered within a certain amount of time, you got an additional 2 years. The reason I say that to you is when I reached out to them and explained what I found when I removed this plate, I had also said, being there's not a lot of information out there, when you run into this, how do you get this out? I said, do you have to break it? And they said, well, unfortunately, yes, you do. To me, that's probably one of the biggest design flaws that I've ever seen in just about any product that I've ever messed with. So at any rate, being that I said, make sure you register stuff, I did register mine. So they said, when, unfortunately you have to break it, they sent me the replacement under warranty. Here is that O-ring, and it fits in that groove that you can't get to in the bottom of the primer. You actually have to break this part to get it to actually fix this. You can't pull it, it doesn't let go. You actually have to break it. So if you have yourself a pair of needle nose pliers or something that has the cutter into it, you can take this. This probably won't be strong enough without me breaking the jaw on it. So what I did was I took these and I put it around and I just slowly worked it until I was able to cut through it, which was kind of hard to show you while I did it. So as you see, now it's cut off, and what you can do is push it all the way through. Another thing is Vaseline petroleum jelly, or if you're so inclined, you can buy the Fluval lubricant, which is actually pretty good to have some form of lube to protect this gasket, as well as protect this when you put it in the chamber. So let's see if I can get this to push through. I'm pretty sure had I spritzed the cylinder or had some Vaseline on it, it might work, but you just take, in my case, I had a cotton swab and was able to push it all the way down. So there it is. Now it's out. So there is the inside. As you see here, there's that lip. So by cutting it, I mean, it renders the shaft useless, but because you have to cut this out to do it, that kind of sucks. So being that this is now already together, you're going to take some lube. You can use Vaseline, fragrance free. Some say you can even use baby oil, as long, again, as it's fragrant free. And the main reason you do that is so that when you put this in, it doesn't bind up. I'm going to go with the mineral oil, which is basically what baby oil is, because the only Vaseline that I had around here contained cocoa butter, which is ironic because we put coconut, you know, the shells in the tank as a hide. We put in the coconut grass to help plants root down through sand, so it gives them something to really hold on to. But I mean, I'm not using a ton of it, but I'd rather be safe than sorry. So put a little bit on the Q-tip swab, not everywhere else. And again, it's good to lubricate up the main gasket too when you put it back together. This one is kind of a backup now, so I'm not really using it, but I want to get it fixed. So like in this situation where mine failed because of this and I couldn't get the pump working because I couldn't get prime, luckily I had my other head unit from my other 407 in the closet. So I was actually able to just swap the heads and go back to work. All right, so now you're going to take this and you're going to take this and you're going to put it back into the hole. I mean, you can probably even go as far as putting a little bit on here so that it doesn't, I mean, it doesn't really touch anything but the top of the hole. But again, better to be safe than sorry. So you're going to reinsert that. And there is some resistance there, but I put a little bit of that mineral oil on it. I think I'm going to put just a little bit more. Good thing you guys can't see how much I just spilled all over my counter. Okay, so I put some more on there and some went down into the hole. So now you can see it's fairly easier. So now it's in. You're going to push it until it snaps. So in this case, it's now in. It's lubed up. You can hear the suction, which is what you want. Now, like I said, it's a good thing that they gave a new one with this one as well, because you can see that one. It's not really a tight seal. Lean forwards. And what you're going to do, as you have this kind of snorkel piece, that's going to go towards this box side because there's a little clip on each side that's going to snap into these two corners. And then the reason I said do that way, you see how it sits right down. So now you just push it in. Doesn't really require a lot of force. Just get those tabs under these fingers and now you're good to go. Looks like a charm. So you can hear it, it's lubed, we're good. Now in the event that something happens to that one, I've got nothing to worry about. In case you guys are looking for it, it's called, this one is Fluval X07 primer assembly. Art number A as an apple 20126. And again, it's from Hagen, www.hagen.com, which you're not going to be able to see. But anyway, folks, hopefully that'll solve your issues should you have any sort of issues with your primer, whether it be your valve, your rubber valve isn't seating anymore, so it's, you know, not really drawing a good enough suction, or in my case, that the seal came off partially and kind of jammed in between the plunger and the housing, which this is exactly what it did right here. So, and that's kind of what prompted me again with this video, was seeing that there was really no information out there on, you know, how to fix this. It was just a maintenance. Pop that cover off, clean up in here, clean around this, but that was it. Alrighty, folks, I think I've droned on enough. I think this should help some of you out there. I've got to clean up all this baby oil that I just spilled everywhere. And again, make sure that when you do clean your filters, regardless of whose it is, wherever this O-ring is that seals to the top of your canister bucket, make sure you lubricate that. And that's constantly, when you clean, it's constantly taking it and it's putting tension on it. And eventually it'll start to crack, maybe snap, maybe bind, start to leak because now it's got a flat spot worn into it. Just things to think about. So with that, folks, I bid you a great day, great night, wherever you're at. I do appreciate you stopping by as usual. And as always, folks, take care of yourself, take care of each other. God bless. Peace.